Hi there, I'm Kelly McVie and I am a multi-dimensional coach, therapist and healer. I have been studying, practicing many different holistic modalities from my mid-teens in the 1990s until now in my mid-40s. And these explorations and studying has taken me down many paths, taken me through many dark nights of the soul. Many times I did not want this kind of healing path anymore. I just wanted to all go away so I could live a normal life like normal people. And unfortunately, that wasn't my path to be. I am here to live a unique life and hopefully help other people to live their own unique life. I am a survivor of childhood trauma and dysfunctional relationships and dysfunctional family dynamics, and the experiences I've had through life have stemmed from a lot of those experiences throughout my childhood. Narcissistic relationships, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, autoimmune conditions, blah, the list goes on, which to me sometimes makes me feel a bit like a hypocrite to call myself a healer, but the path of many healers is to heal their own shit, heal their own stuff, and the healing path really is not easy, especially for those of us who have experienced childhood trauma, as a lot of this patterning is ingrained so deeply within us and our subconscious. It is very hard to know how to transform. It is something we cannot transform through logic and logic processing alone. I understand what happened to me. I understand a lot of the reasons why it happened and why some are still, I've come to a peaceful place with a lot of the things that happened to me. But I will still have traumas and triggers flare up at times because the emotional aspect is still held within my body and needing to be processed and allowed out. As I mentioned, I'm in my mid-40s. I have probably undiagnosed ADHD, unmedicated ADHD, and perimenopause and midlife crisis all at the similar time. So forgive my brain and my ramblings if I ramble a bit or if I jump topics too much. That's my ADHD, and I will get better. The cat wants to come inside. I've been trying to film for so long, and I finally get a few moments, and the cat wants me. Anyway, back to our topics. So, something I just wanted to chat to you about a bit today was forgiveness, the concept of forgiveness, and that we need to forgive in order to heal. And that is BS, in my opinion. We do not need to forgive anybody in order to heal, except perhaps to forgive ourselves for whatever we perceive that we could have, should have, would have, did or didn't do. Okay, so there's some self-forgiveness that's really powerful with the healing process, but we do not need to heal our we do not need to forgive our abusers. That is not a requirement for us to heal, to live our life. We do need to find some acceptance. We do need to accept that some of this stuff happened for whatever reason, good or bad, and the human self in me does not know why this stuff happens. I don't know why there's so much pain and suffering in the world. I wish there wasn't so much pain and suffering in the world, but there is. And instead of, and my interpretation of that on a spiritual level used to be that I was getting punished for past life karma or something I've done to people, when I think it's more that my soul or spirit was much more of a warrior, much stronger and capable than I think I was, and they might choose to come through to experience these horrible experiences, to have the lived experience of it. I would not probably have the same level of empathy, compassion, and understanding how complex the healing process is if I hadn't had those earlier experiences myself and experienced how difficult life can be after trauma. So it's kind of like I had to go through that school of receiving the trauma to hopefully the rest of my life being able to help people heal from trauma and reclaim their lives. While we continue to suffer from the abuse we received, like we're continuing to be punished, hurt, and all the horrible things that happened to us in the past, it still continues to happen while we remain entangled with our abusers and what happened. Accepting what happened, giving the shame, the pain, all the stuff that was projected onto us by our abusers or abuser, that goes back to them. We were not responsible for their action. We did not do anything to make them abuse us. They may have told us that we did, but that was just to gaslight us into believing that them abusing us was our fault. And that was never the case. It was never our fault. Many of us can wish we had done something different, or ran away, or said something, or stood up to our abuser more than we did. That's where we need to forgive ourselves, because there was nothing more we could do. Like, we're in a situation we could not escape with people that were abusing us. We had no option but to adapt the best we could to that situation in order to survive. And for those of us that managed to survive some really hard childhood experiences, it was our child self and our child brains and nervous system that came up with these strategies for us to survive. And it's damn hard now. Think about how hard it is to think back to those times and how hard our life was. And many of us could not handle that kind of situation now as an adult. So how the F did we manage when we were kids? We did well. If you are here, you're obviously looking for ways to heal and reclaim your life and to move on. So that's what a lot of this channel is going to be about. Anyway, let's jump back to the forgiveness part. Many people are told they need to forgive in order to heal, and that's not true. Forgiveness can be a powerful part of some people's journeys, and once again, I would be directing that forgiveness towards yourself before you direct it towards other people. As depending on your situation, you can probably reflect a little bit more on if it really was an accident. Like, some things can accidentally happen, but we tend to know when those things were an accident. Some things were much more planned out and intentional than what we realized as a child. Right. So it's not a universal step, and it's not a moral obligation. That's patriarchy stepping in and saying that we need to forgive the abuser in order to heal. We don't need to forgive. So some of this stuff that was done to us, like, I cannot even begin to understand how some abusers did even a small percentage of what they did to an innocent child or to someone they're supposed to love. It's just about their power and their control and them getting their needs met, and they do not need to be forgiven for that. If you get to a place where you want to forgive and it feels right to forgive, then all means forgive, but don't put too much weight into it. A lot of the time, I guess it's a religious thing, mainstream religious thing kind of thing, to that this forgiveness has to happen so that you could heal and move on. But no, that's just that's not needed. So you can heal, you can move on, you can release that abuser because we don't want them continuing to impact our life moving forward, but we can go on and create a great life, an amazing life, an empowered life without forgiving the abuser and without them in our life. So healing is about reclaiming your power, your voice, and your wholeness. It's not about making peace with those who hurt you. Pressuring yourself to forgive before you're ready, that'll just do more damage than good. So true healing means honoring your pain, validating your experience, and creating safety and trust without needing to let the other person off the hook. We actually really need to be able to give back to the abuser a lot of that pain and shame and stuff that they projected onto us. We've grown up feeling, or continued living feeling, completely worthless, completely deserving of their terrible actions. And if we go back to those situations as an adult or older version of ourselves and we look back on it from a more balanced perspective, we can quite easily see that we weren't in the wrong. We weren't the horrible. Maybe we did do something wrong. Children don't always get things right, but was that consequent or punishment, really balanced version for what the child's action was. Was there a better way to teach a child about consequences that did not involve abusing the child? There were plenty. So when we've been abused and emotionally, psychologically damaged, the abuser has entangled their energy with our energy. They've jumbled it all up together. They've twisted a lot of reality, and they've tried to really F with our perception of reality. And that steals parts of who we are, or shuts parts of who we are down, so we can't interact with them. We're not living as full versions of ourselves. Many qualities, like having a voice and being able to speak up and share your truth and set healthy boundaries and those kind of things, they were stolen or taken from us. Just like how a thief may take physical items from a house, these invisible parts of us have been taken or hidden or locked away from us because of the abuse. So as we heal from the abuse or abusers, we will start to tap into and reclaim these parts of ourselves back. And many of these things are great qualities. They were portrayed by our abusers as not being great qualities because abusers don't like individualism or outspoken or people saying what the truth is. That's all threatening towards the abuser. Same as being too confident or being too knowledgeable. Those things are all undesirable and unwanted from the abuser because that threatens them. So we heal each part of ourselves. We reclaim those bits back from the abuser. We send the abuser's crap back to them. You can send it back with love and healing and blessings if you prefer to try and neutralize the energy. But we are not responsible for their actions or what they did. That's their responsibility, and we send that there back to them. So I'm going to stop this video here. Hopefully it has some good insight that you could follow along with, and I will be making more videos in the future. So like and subscribe if you've liked what I've chatted about so far. I will be delving into more healing, personal growth, spiritual development type content. I am available for coaching and therapies, healing sessions, and I've got some online courses coming very soon, so stay tuned.